there was traffic.
Blackwall Tunnel.
Blackwall Tunnel, yeah, it's always traffic.
Yeah.
As soon as you get out there, it's like 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's just the worst ever.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst traffic.
I'm Claira Hermit. This is In Bed with Claira, and joining me in the bed today is the one, the only, Breeny Lee.
Hey.
Do you have a bedtime routine?
No,
Don't
but I
you?
should do. Now I just work until I pass out, literally.
But you know, like you see those kind of like videos that people do where they're like, when I go to bed, I have
No
like
one
this
does
tea.
that. That's called content.
You're all liars.
But it's not realistic though, is it?
No.
If you're out on a Friday or Wednesday, what do? You go to bed at 2 a.m.
You go to bed with a full face of makeup on, and if you're lucky, you brush your teeth. That's
Exactly, no one's.
You've got some really amazing pajamas on right now. What do you normally wear to bed? These.
Yeah. It's nice to go to bed feeling fancy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's all part of the...
With your full face of makeup still on. So have you got like a collection of PJs?
Yes.
PJs?
I love PJs. I think since the lockdown, since I'm at home, I might as well feel nice.
Yeah. What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you in bed?
In bed? This sounds sexual. I don't know. That is an interesting question. What's the most embarrassing
Probably
thing
like,
that's ever...
I don't know, like farted in front of somebody or...
Oh, that's normal. When you fart or you sleep.
Yeah, and wake yourself up.
Yeah.
Give yourself a shock. How confident are you in your body and your appearance?
I'll say it's 5, going on 6.
That's really low. Out of
Yeah.
10?
Yeah. But I'm a perfectionist.
Right.
And I'm hard on myself.
Okay.
So there's always room for improvement.
But do you find then that like puts a lot of pressure on you if that's how you're kind of feeling in your body
I
confidence?
know I'm working towards something.
Right.
So like with body, I'm like working out, I'm losing weight, I'm on like a special diet or whatever. So it's only temporary that I feel like this. But I'm honest enough to be like, yeah, I'm not completely happy. And I think it's good to be honest, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not horrible to yourself.
Oh,
at the same time.
no, it's not like that. I truly believe that you can only change from a place of love.
Right.
Then rather than hate. You have to be talking to yourself positively.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're not going to change. Self-love, if I loved everything about myself, it wouldn't be realistic because no one's perfect.
You make changes from love as opposed to from like hate or uncomfortableness or loathing or whatever.
Yeah.
So what about people who are more in that kind of space where they're just like really, it makes them actually unhappy?
I mean, I've been there.
Yeah, me too.
But like you can't change from a place of hate.
Yeah.
You need the encouragement from the inside, loving yourself enough to change and actually also learning to be able to actually accept where you're at and understand that it's temporary and that your worth is not tied to your physical appearance, it's not tied to what the weight is on the scale, what you look like in the mirror. I know it's hard to conceptualize, but my worth is not tied to my outside appearance. So I'm not gonna hide because I've gained weight, which we all bloody did during lockdown.
For years, I believed that was the most important thing about me. Like I literally believed my appearance was the only thing that mattered. It made me miserable. I was so unhappy. It didn't matter what I changed about myself. It was never
good enough.
It wasn't until like I had my preventive double mastectomy where I was just like, oh.
We don't exist to be beautiful. Even back in the day, before social media, there were still magazines. There were still things telling women, you're not good enough until you have this, or have this, and have this, and have
Buy
this.
my things.
Yeah, buy it, literally.
Yeah.
If we as women truly learned to love ourselves, we would put the beauty industry out of business.
Yeah.
They're thriving on us having low self-esteem.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Whatever your problem is, hey, this will take away your stretch marks, or this will get rid of your belly fat, or this will get rid of your cellulite, or this will get rid of your wrinkles, or this will get rid of...
Much.
Overwhelming.
That's why you kind of have to jump out of that race.
How and when did you do that?
I actually did a series on my YouTube channel called Soul Surgery, and I shaved my hair, stopped wearing makeup for a certain amount of time because I needed to detach my worth from my outside appearance. Because like you were saying, I was obsessed with my looks. I felt like my worth was tied to how good I looked or how much attention I got from the opposite sex. So if I went out and I didn't get attention, I'd be like, okay, more makeup, change my hair. And I was like, this is not sustainable. I can't live like this. This doesn't feel good to my soul. Because even if I get attention, I don't feel good. I go home and I'm miserable still. So shaving my head was such a relief because I was just like so tied to hairstyles and wigs and weaves and everything. I was like, shave it off. It's so liberating, honestly. It's probably the most liberating thing you'll do in your life.
Yeah.
Because our beauty is tied to our hair as women.
What do they say? It's something like, when you have like a major haircut or something, you're about to change
your life.
Yeah. And I'd always had like long hair to here, and then I had it cut like to here, and my life did change at that point, and it was kind of that. And the negative feedback that I got though, was insane.
Why?
Like my YouTube audience and stuff was predominantly male. It was around the time, I think it was just after I'd had my boob operation, or just before I had like my mastectomy. Right. The comments were like show before they go, or like no boobs, no views, like all of this kind of like stuff was coming through about like really like harsh stuff. And then it's all this stuff about my hair, like looking like a man or whatever it was. I mean, like I had a bob. I just had to kind of be like, whoa.
Right. How did that make you feel though?
It made me feel like shit. Like it's horrible. It's really horrible. It's really, really horrible. Especially because I was having that operation because I didn't want to die of breast cancer like my mum and sister had. Right. It would never get to me as much now. Right. But at that time, it was just like. That is crazy. Yeah. Especially coming from men as well. Yeah, it hurt. Awful. Like it really hurt.
I can imagine. It's crazy, but I do feel like a lot of women, they live for the approval of men.
Mm-hmm. But we're trained to do that. Yeah. That is the thing. And I was that person for such a long time. And I probably would have like argued the kind of opposite side.
That's so interesting that you would say that you would have argued the opposite side.
Yeah, I probably would have done.
Actually, like, there's a term for it, and it's called being male identified. And it's like, have you heard of the term pick me?
Oh, this came on. I was talking, who was I talking to? London Hughes, and she was saying about this idea of a pick me.
Pick me, yeah. Last year I didn't understand why people calling this person pick me, and it's because I was a freaking pick me. Like, it was like all the time, every kind of conversation, I'm trying to see the male side, and that's what misogyny is. And that's what we've been indoctrinated with.
But if you were a pick me, how did you not become a not pick me?
Stop caring what men think.
But so you had to have that realization first for you to be like, no, that's it.
Oh yeah. Because you know what? Something happened on Twitter with a guy who I was trying to be like understanding towards him, but he turned on me. And I think that was my wake up call. Like, why am I caring about you, but you don't give a shit about me?
She's changed her pick me ways, which is good. So you are a speaker, a transformational coach, and an amazing YouTuber as well.
Thank you.
And some of your videos that have been the most popular or the most viral are your videos about celibacy.
Yes.
What is celibacy for you?
Abstaining from sex until marriage.
Right.
And the right word is actually abstinence. Celibacy is for like, priests and nuns who will never
live a life.
Yeah, they'll never do it. I've been on both sides of it. I've been sleeping around, and I've been celibate, and then I fell, and I've been celibate again. And the side that feels at more peace for me is the celibate side, because I feel like I'm in control of this thing. And I'm also not given sex as a way to validate myself.
Because you were a celibate at one point for 11 years.
Yes.
11 years. Yeah. 11 years. Like, I'm just like, that's such a long time. And do you miss sex?
I didn't miss sex in 11 years, but when I started again, it was kind of hard to get back on the train of like, it was
get off the train
and get back on the celibacy train, because it's like, I always say it's like, sex is like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop, because it's like a high. Like
14 months, I think, is the longest in my adult life that I didn't
that's
have sex for. When it comes to talking about sex, as a Christian, I mean, it can be quite a controversial topic.
Even in church, they don't really talk about it.
But it's important to talk about it, right? Because the more you keep something taboo or undercover or whatever, people, and also I think it's the shame attached to it.
It's shame, but it's also shame if you don't talk about it. Like, if you do keep it covered, it's shame. If you don't talk about it, it's shame. So it's like, you pick your struggle.
You can't win.
I'd rather just be open and honest, because I always feel like if I'm going through something, someone else is going through something, and if I speak on it, then it sets that person free to feel like, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not a weird person. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to act like things aren't going on. I can be open, I can be transparent, I can be honest. What hurts me the most is when I am being open and honest and vulnerable, and someone comes and stabs you. Like, this is why people don't be honest, because you're gonna use my vulnerability against me, like I'm inferior to you.
But in the kind of early days, how did you deal with that?
Like, my thing is like, I have a purpose for being here, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be on YouTube for this long. Like, who's got time for it? I really feel like I have a purpose, and there's a reason why I talk about certain topics, because someone needs to be helped. And I get messages every single day. Your videos have changed my life, changed the way that I've seen myself, changed the way I think about myself. This is all I'm doing it for. I don't care about the people that are negative. Negative people are distractions. Stay focused, know what your purpose is, and keep on going.
When it comes to celibacy, what is generally kind of people's reactions when you say to them, this is my decision, this is how it's going to be? Or do you meet people that would already know that about you?
latter is the best way to go about it, because then you don't have to have the awkward conversation. But in the times past when someone hasn't been on celibacy, you're like, I respect that, da, 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 da. But they're always going to tempt you anyway, so it's not wise to get with someone that doesn't get. They can respect it, they can be like, oh, I really get it, but I want to have sex.
How do you know though? Like, how do you know if they really mean that, or if they are going to be the person that in their back of their mind, they're like, I'm going to say that, but then I'm going to, like, you know, try and make my way
I mean, you can only see when they're trying to make their way in, isn't it? If someone says I respect it, do you know what I mean? You can only see when they try to, but you got to keep your eyes open. And the reason why I fell off, like, 2-3 years ago, is because I didn't keep my eyes open. And then I was like, you made me do it. And he was like, no, you want to do it. I didn't force you. I'm like, damn it.
So where would you go to look for, like, a potential husband?
Where would I go?
Yeah,
I ain't going anywhere.
So the husband comes to you?
Yeah.
Because I reckon a lot of people would, and this is messed up, but this is the world we live in, that like see it as a challenge.
Those people, those kind of mindsets, I can kind of read quite early, like,
No.
I know a player when I see a player. But it's not even just a celibacy that is intimidating to guys. It's me.
Ta-da!
It's just everything. I'm fully aware that my pool of potential suitors are very tiny. I'm always like, God's gonna have to send me a unicorn, and I'm expecting that. As long as he's the right person, as long as when we get married, we stay married, that is good enough.
Yeah. You'll find the right person, or they'll find you.
They'll find me.
When someone said to me that I was looking for a unicorn, but that's what they said to me, I was like, but unicorns don't exist. And then I was like, no. So what you're saying is I'm looking for something that doesn't exist.
A lot of guys like to say that you're asking for too much. And it's like, more times we're only asking for the bare minimum. We're only asking, you know, love us, cherish us, be there for us.
Don't have sex with us until we're married.
So you put a ring on it.
You said then that guys find you intimidating. What do you think it is about you that men find intimidating?
I mean, to be honest, like my last relationship, like his mum was like, she found one of my videos on celibacy and she was like, what is this? His mum, and she's a Christian. Different cultures are like, no, we'd rather like keep our business to ourselves. But I'm like, I'm gonna have to be with someone that understands what I do and why I do it. I'm not just out here sharing my business for sharing my business sake. I only share things that have purpose, and if it's gonna help someone.
I heard you say that abstinence is like a spiritual practice.
Yes.
How does that work?
We believe as Christians, we have the Holy Spirit with us, which is like the power to do what we can't do by ourselves.
Right.
So we believe the Holy Spirit is a person. So that person speaks to you and kind of corrects you and redirects your life. Even if you want to put yourself in a position where you could like have sex with someone, the Holy Spirit will be like, Breeny, get out. Don't answer this call. So you're almost like being directed and guided through life. So that's why we say it's a spiritual practice, and it takes the Holy Spirit to be able to do it. This is going to be like a theology lesson.
And welcome to Theology with Claira and Breeny Lee.
So when you give your life to Christ, you get the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit is with you.
Okay, all the
Period. All the time. But there's sometimes you don't even talk to him.
Don't listen to it.
You don't listen to him. You don't talk. You don't stay close. When you know the Holy Spirit, when you have that relationship, you know when he's speaking to you. You know when it's yourself. You know when it's someone else, and you know when it's a devil.
Right, okay.
Literally, yeah.
So you just got to kind of pay attention to the right voices,
Yes.
essentially. Can I just ask, can you masturbate? Does that include, is that out?
Yeah, out.
So no.
It's everything. No.
Nothing.
Nothing
You can't
at
do
all.
anything.
Can't do
And
anything.
yeah.
Go on, ask the question.
I was just thinking about, so, and it's also the same for guys, right? So they wouldn't be able to masturbate either.
Yeah. But you know, there are some people that aren't even spiritual that don't do those
they
things.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was out of it for like 14 months, although I did masturbate, so I guess not. It doesn't really count. Scrap that, wipe that off the board. Let's go back to a day. Oh, this is another thing that I found really interesting when you were talking about purity culture. This idea of like being like pure equals getting a husband.
It's like respectability politics, basically. In Christian history, people have taught, if you want to get a husband, you got to be a virgin. If you want to be a husband, you got to stay pure. And that's not true, because you can be a virgin, get married, you can not be a virgin and get married. We see divorces all the time. We see couples get together who haven't waited and they're still married. So it's like, the math is not mathing. Make it make sense. And your value is not in your virginity.
Do you make plans, or do you just say, every day, take every day as like I'm abstaining every day and look at it as individual days.
I'm not dating as well.
Right, okay. Oh, so just nothing.
So I don't have any temptations. So it's easier.
Oh,
yeah.
Remove the temptations.
Remove the temptation, just for now, until my husband finds me. And then we'll have a whole new challenge on our hands, because if he's fine and I'm fine, we might be fine together.
Yeah. Or just only date each other through a wall.
Yeah.
It seems like that would
that
be
might
safe.
be a good idea. But my love language is physical touch. It's not going to work.
So that's really hard for you.
Really hard, yeah.
That kind of chemistry that you have with that person and that desire that you have for them is like probably one of the strongest forces in the world.
You're not wrong.
I just have to avoid being one-on-one with them, otherwise it would be a nightmare.
Do you know what I think as well? Like, I feel like a lot of people don't know how to be intimate without sex. Intimacy isn't sex.
No.
Intimacy is emotional intimacy, feeling safe with that person, understanding, talking about your history. Sex is the icing on the cake, and it's not the cake. If you can take sex away and your relationship falls apart, thank God. Like, when you're pregnant, you're not going to even be able to have sex. Like, there's going to be certain times when you get older. I heard an old married couple basically say, like, you need to learn to be able to talk to each other, because when you get to our age, that's all you're going to be able to do.
How old are they?
They were like 80, 90, in 80s, yeah.
My nan and granddad were still having sex at that age.
Was they? No way.
It's in the genes.
You got a lot to look forward to.
But I also heard you talking about like what you watch on TV, what music you listen to, like all of that stuff as well.
Yeah. Because listen, the last couple of days I was listening to R&B. I was feeling it.
Listening to the lyrics and you're like, yeah. And you had to stop yourself. Like, no.
Yeah.
Then the Holy Spirit, that's the voice that comes in.
It's like, okay, it's enough now, because you're now starting to feel a type of way. Don't do that to yourself. You're only playing yourself at the end.
And you talked about the fact that you feel more powerful. Can we speak a little bit more about that and how it impacts your life? Not dating, especially, like even when you're dating someone, the first few months, it's so much energy is expanded just in like, how do I interpret this? How do I interpret that? Does he like me? Doesn't he like me anymore? To be free of that, like you seem very kind of like at peace and comfortable and good.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted. I'm in control. I also have platonic friendships with men. Like, I love male energy. It's a powerful force. And I'm glad that I can experience that without thinking, okay, well, we've got to hit the bedroom.
Friends without benefits.
Friends without benefits, exactly. Put that on the t-shirt.
Yeah. People will say, oh yeah, you know, you can't be friends with a guy. Like, you might be friends with them.
Yeah, but they got... I have a guy like that. I have a friend like that. But the thing is, if you have two people
She's
like
onto
that...
you.
Oh, he really knows. If you're not attracted to this person, but they're attracted to you, nothing can happen. Or if you're attracted to them, they're not attracted to you, nothing can happen. And I think a lot of guys say that men can't be friends with women. They're just waiting for that opportunity for you to feel weak and to then pounce. That's a predator. You don't want to be friends with that. And I feel like it's sad that some men can't be friends with women.
But I think that's really true. And I also think that men can benefit from being around female energy.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's really good for everyone to just have platonic relationships. And just to chill.
Chill out.
Just chill out.
Just chill.
But we do live in this like
hypersexualized, everything is sex.
Yeah. But why don't people necessarily see that, and how can we ever change that? That's my final question. You sort out the world. I'm going to go to sleep.
With it being so aggressive, I think when anything gets like that, I think it's like you pull back. So maybe we'll start to see more people practicing celibacy.
We're about to play my game now. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
I like this.
Oh, I've got to be blindfolded.
Maybe.
Oh, getting kinky in here.
My game is called Ball Bag, which is, it's a very nice ball bag, isn't it?
Stella McCartney.
You've just got to be blindfolded.
And I've got to juggle them.
No, you've got to get the balls in the bag.
That isn't even a sturdy bag, it's so flimsy.
No, I'm going to hold it open like that, look. Get your balls in my bag, love, come on. Don't mess this up, Breeny.
Where are you?
She's just rubbing her ball on me. No! Do you see what she did? She cheated. Okay, you can have that one. You've got to throw it now.
Oh. Did that hit you?
No, stop cheating. The balls are going everywhere. Quick. Oh! Oh!
Did I get any in?
Well, you got one, the first one where you cheated. You got them so close, you kept hitting my wrist.
I bet you was moving the bag.
I wasn't moving the bag. Everyone, did I move the bag?
Lies.
You got 1 out of 5 in ball bag.
By cheating, yay!
But I think that's because you're abstaining from ball bags. The Holy Spirit made you miss and said no. This has been In Bed with Claira with Breeny Lee. I hope that you have enjoyed it, loved it. I'll be back with another episode real soon, so please make sure you like, share, subscribe and comment under the video. Any final words?
Final words.
Go to sleep now. Look, the lights have gone out. That's what it's supposed to be, like a night light. Have a little rest up.
Sit down and snore.
Do you snore?
Makeup. I probably do. You know when you're single, you don't know that you snore,
Don't
but
know
then they
anything.
say like, oh yeah, you're snoring.
There's a sleep app you can get and it records you, and I shit you not, I do not ever want to do it.
Never.
Never want to do it,
Don't
because
wanna
this
hear
guy apparently heard some weird stuff and it wasn't him talking, he had another voice.
Stop. Yeah, that's why, when I go to sleep, I'm out. So I don't care.
Yeah.
Let the demons do what they do.